Hey rollers, this is Ro. Welcome back to my channel. I have a very special video for you guys today. Me and my YouTube buddy May is doing a collaboration for Patriotic decor this month. I'm so super excited. I sent her a box full of rub-on transfers because I had heard rumor on the grapevine was that she could not find rub-on transfers. So I was like, hey, I have a whole bunch that I'm getting rid of. So here you go. And here we are doing a collab for the first time. Also, another thing is I am going to be doing a giveaway for when I reach my 1K subscribers, and I'm going to be asking one question and you have to be able to answer that one question. So if you have been a subscriber on my channel for a while, you will know the answer to the question. So stay in the video, watch the video, and when you hear the question, just answer it with an icon of the answer. Of course, that is all you have to do besides being a subscriber and being a US resident, because unfortunately it is too expensive for us to mail out. I will also have a picture up on my video. It'll be a B-roll up on the video so that you'll be able to see what is going to be the giveaway, and I'll also have some additional goodies in the box, but I'm going to leave that to be a surprise. Of course, you know how we do this around here on the Crafticular channel. All right, with all that being said, let's go ahead and roll into this video because that's all you guys are here for anyway. Let's get this started. All right, guys, so for this round, I found this at Hobby Lobby. It's a 4-piece wood round thing. I have no idea. I forgot what it's called, but I took it into my garage and I sanded it. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a reverse stain. So I printed out on my Cricut Home of the Brave, and you know how I do my stencils. I use regular vinyl, or I have a stencil vinyl that I get at a local store. But you know what I say, just use your ugliest color vinyl and you are good to go, instead of using white, black, you know, the color vinyls that you use on a regular basis. So we're going to put this on here, and we're going to then, after I get all that pushed down, then we are going to use our stain. I saw this on Instagram. Unfortunately, I don't remember who I saw this on because it was last summer. And you know, every time I see somebody do something and I'm going to replicate it, I am a big fan of promoting who I see this on, because you know how I do things. I like to tell you guys who I see people do what, because you know, we got to nudge each other's crowns and tell each other who we saw what, because it takes absolutely no effort to do those kind of things. So yes, prop each other's crowns up on each other's heads, and let's go ahead and show you guys how it's done. You know how we do it. Now we're in the garage getting ready to stain it. I use Rust-Oleum. I showed you what the color was. Now I don't even remember what it is at this point. And I just use a terry cloth to do all my staining because that is my preference. You can use a foam brush, whichever does, you know, makes your heart go beady beady bum bum. You know my phrase of my, you know, yeah, do whatever makes you guys, you know, happy. Whatever is your preference. This is just how I always have done it. It just works for me. We're just gonna stain it all the way through. I only did one coat, front, back, side, and that's all I wanted to do because I didn't want it to be too dark. I wanted to see the wood grain on this wood, and that is it for this portion. Now once it's all stained, I am going to sit it outside because it was a very nice day outside, and I'm going to let it dry. Now what you're seeing here is just me staining a different project, so I'll show you guys that in a later for a different project, so don't worry about it. Like I said, we're doing two different stains, same stain, different wood projects, because I was like, we might as well stain everything right here, right now, and get it out the way because I'm not coming back out here twice. All right, so now that we're back on my craft table, I decided that I wanted to change my mind because according to my husband, the projects looked a little boring. So I was like, well, you know what? How about I hit you upside the head with this? But no, we can't be violent, Roberta, because I'm too cute to go to prison. So what we're going to do, we're going to change it up, because originally I did want to do red, white, and blue, but because it was an even number, I thought that it would not work. So with his input, we are going to change it up just a little bit. So I grabbed my nautical from Folk Art, my red from, I want to say Dixie Belle, but you'll see these come up here in the video. And then, oh, it was from DIY, my marquee. These are going to be the colors all across every DIY that we do, and our white chalk paint, the kilts. That's not my favorite chalk paint, but we're going to use it for this DIY, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So we're just going to do a quick brushing. I'm just using my chippy brush from Dollar Tree for this because I want it to be a little rustic. I did the red a little too much, but it's okay. So I'm using this kilt white because I just wanted it to be, like I said, really rustic, really messy brushing. It didn't have to be perfect. I just want a little overhang, a little bit too much on here. And then the blue was actually what I wanted it to be perfect. And then once all that is done, we are going to take everything off. So we're going to take off the vinyl that I had laid down, and that's going to leave the original wood color that's on the wood, which is what I was going to do before I had stained it. Sorry, because my big head is in the way. I forgot that that's where the camera was, so I apologize for that. And you'll see here that the wood did chip. That rarely happens to me, so I have no idea what had happened, but I can't explain that. So here's what it looks like. And Brave, I left as it is because what we're going to do here is we're going to just grab some vinyl in the same colors, and we're going to print that, and then we're just going to add that on there because it just made more sense, because it was looking kind of blah, and we needed to just put some stars on there, and that was the only way that I could think of to give it some semblance, to make it coordinate. You know what you guys know what I'm trying to say, right? Because it was looking so boring. And I just random. There was no rhyme or reason to how I did the stars. I was just trying to make it work. You got me? I know you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So just give me a thumbs up if you know what I mean. So here are the stars. I just needed to give it some life. It was looking a little boring. I will show you guys the finished projects at the end of the video, but I do think that this came out nicely. There was a running joke between my husband and I that, was it supposed to say home of the brave, or is it supposed to say because of the brave? But he pointed out, Ro, you are a vet. You should know what the saying is, and don't just be putting stuff out there just because you wanted to say something else. So I was like, well, I gotta stick to what the anthem actually says. So here it is. I think it came out nice, if I do say so myself. Now, if I didn't like it, I still had the back. I could just redo it, and no harm, no foul. Y'all know what I mean? But here we have it. Okay, so project number 2, you guys already saw where I stained it in the previous clip. This wood round is a wood round that I ordered off of Facebook Marketplace, but you can also find them on Etsy. It is an 18-inch birch wood round. Now, the thing with this wood round is that when I was staining it, it's very different from the wood rounds that you can find at Home Depot. What happens is that it's got this weird thing. So when you're staining it, the stain wants to almost sit on top. It's kind of like it glides on top, versus the other wood rounds where the stain actually goes into it. So that's something that I just wanted you guys to know off the bat. So when I was doing the lines for this one, if you are anything like me and you cannot make straight lines to save your life, because y'all know I can't do straight lines. I can't cut in a straight line. Straight lines and me We are not battle buddies. We are not besties. We are nothing. Okay? These wood rounds are not your friends. But if you're going to do simple stuff, these are great. They weren't very expensive. They came in a 12 pack for like $100. I think I've had these for about a year and I didn't want to go buy one from the Home Depot. So that's why I'm using this one. All right. And another thing is, this was a design I also saw from my homegirl, Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. She did this design a couple years ago and I've always wanted to recreate it, but I never had the spirit to do it. And so since May said she wanted to do patriotic designs, I was like, well, I guess I can. But in Sammy's design, she burnt it, torched it, and I don't have a torcher, however you say that. I don't have that, and I wasn't gonna go buy one, so we just stained it and make it look like that. Anywho, I'm gonna show you what the torture that I went through getting this these lines, but you know, we don't judge on this channel, so just go ahead and laugh with me while y'all see me struggling with this. Okay, yeah, got me. This first part, I'm actually trying to get the lines to make the square where my flag is gonna go, and I'm trying to use the lines on my mat. And y'all know, y'all girl was struggling, right? She was struggling, but the struggle was so worth it at the end. So on Sammy's channel, she said that the lady that had gave them the idea said that to use your Cricut scraper, and I did that. There were parts of this that I thought the scraper was messing up my tape, so I don't know. I've never used a scraper when I've done my wood rounds to push the tape down, so that's another thing. Use at your own discretion. Yeah. So let's continue watching. I don't know why my big head stays on this camera, but isn't my hair pretty? I know, right? It's like that red is popping. Okay, so on this part, I'm just using a small piece of tape just to get the spacing as even as possible. And that is all that you're doing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this process, but I'm sure you guys might be, maybe not. I don't know. But there you see me doing that, and that's all I'm doing. Now, this is where it's like, bro, I don't know if your lines are straight. I don't know, but I'm guessing, yeah. We see, this is why I'm looking. I'm going, is this right? It looks kind of lopsided. So don't judge me, peoples. I was born with a crooked eyesight. I don't even know what. I can't walk in a straight line, much less chew gum and walk at the same time. So we getting there. We getting there, guys. We getting there. Okay, now that my lines are straight, I'm going to use marquee. Like I said, this is going to be my staple colors for this entire thing. Like in Sammy's video, she did use a stain for her red. I didn't have any red stain, so we're just, Sammy's video was just more of an inspiration, so I'm not doing it exactly like hers is always just an inspiration. So, you know, we're just gonna do that. So I'm gonna use my sponge roller, paint everything down. Once it's mostly dry, look at those lines. Isn't it gorgeous? It's like perfection. Look, let's just admire those lines. Look at that. Even if they were crooked, those lines are like crisp perfection. I was sitting there staring at these lines like, girl, you did that thing, like, ooh la la. Yes, like, So now we're gonna set back the tape, because I need to do the flag portion where the stars are gonna go. So I got my stars all ready. I made different sizes, trying to figure out what size I wanted to do. Then I said no, the little ones were a little too small, but I opted for the bigger ones. And like I said, I don't have any rhyme or reason where I laid down the stars, and I realized I ripped the stars. So I was like, I'm not printing out another set of stars, and we're just gonna lay them down and be done with them. And I just laid them down. It didn't really matter to me how they went, and that was pretty much it for this part. Then we're grabbing our blue nautical paint, using my sponge roller once again. We're just going to roll that on there. You don't have to use this. You can use a paintbrush if you want to. You can use whatever you want to. Of course, I dip my finger into the paint. So just sponge that. Make sure that you get the size, because that is going to be noticeable when you do this if you don't get the size to match. And once I'm done, I'm going to lift the painter's tape again, so that I don't damage I don't want to pull the painter's tape once it's dry, and then get the stars all out. Look at how beautiful those stars. The magic of the paint. Now this painter's tape is Frog's painter's tape. The other one that you can use is automotive tape that you can buy online, or you can just use regular painter's tape. It doesn't really matter. That's just the ones that I have online on hand. But look how pretty. Isn't she gorgeous? I'm like so in love with my wood brown. Yes, I am. All right, so our next process at this point is I did this other one that's gonna go in the center. I just typed US home or something like that. I did, and I decided on this one. And we're just doing a reverse stencil. We're just doing a stencil, so we're just gonna do home. We're just gonna peel off the inner items that you would normally take off all the outside, but we're going to peel off the inside. I hope that makes perfect sense. I'm sorry if it doesn't. Sometimes it's hard to explain because my brain is a little on the wonky side. All right, so we're going to pull that on. Again, I'm using brown because it's a color that I do buy specifically for these purposes. Now, you can use stencil vinyl. It doesn't really matter. I have stencil vinyl. You can also use stencil. Okay, we've done this all over again. So we're gonna put this down. Use my what is this? My brayer tool to make sure everything is down. And then we're going to continue. For this portion, I think I wanted white because that was the only thing that seemed to make sense, and I think that's what Sammy did as well. So we're gonna put that down, make sure the bubbles are fully down, and move on. Now once I had this down, I realized I could have went a little bit bigger, and I probably should have, but I didn't. So I grabbed my white from Waverly, used my chippy brush, and just painted it on there really quick. Messy brush. I didn't want it to go too heavily, but I absolutely did, but that's okay. I forget that Waverly is real thick, and this was a new bottle. And if I had used my other paint, I probably wouldn't have gotten such a heavy coat, but I still like the way it came off. So for dry brushing, just take as much of the paint off, and I peeled it up as usual before the paint dries. This way you don't get any of the paint to lift off your wood. All right, so look how it came out. Again, I could have went a little bit bigger, but I don't know. It looked much bigger when I was doing the design. I don't know. I just mismeasured, but isn't it beautiful? Those lines are just so impressive. And I did see that white on the side, and I just grabbed the cloth and wiped it off with just a little bit of alcohol, and it came right off. No problems whatsoever. You won't even notice. And I didn't show this. I thought I did, but I did end up sealing that project with 2 coats of spar urethane. Make sure that you use spar urethane for outdoor projects, because it is water based. That way it doesn't yellow your projects. Spar urethane for outdoor, polyacrylic for indoor. And I did do 2 coats of that, front, sides, and back. Okay, for our next project, I grabbed these painter's sticks that I had gotten from Amazon, and I just lined them up, trying to figure out how I wanted to paint them. I had an idea already in my head. I have them labeled on the side, so we're just gonna finish lining them up. I did cut them to the measurements that I needed them to be, and I'm just going to make sure that I have everything set up. So I'm gonna paint them exactly halfway, 4 sticks down in the blue that I've been using this entire time. I'm trying to get it perfectly aligned, but y'all know I'm so very crooked, but it's gonna still work out how I need it to work out. So we've got the 4 blue, and then we're going to do red, white, and red, white, red, white. I think that's the order. Then we're going to go back to the marquee, and then we're going to continue in that order. Now we're going to paint the other sticks red, fully white, and then fully red to get the rest of the flag's layout. All right, so this frame I actually found at Hobby Lobby. It was in the 75% clearance, and when I saw it, I was like, this is perfect. It had no glass, it was just a frame, and I think it was originally $30, and I found it on clearance for $8.50. It is gorgeous, it is heavy, it is perfect. So I've laid everything out, see, laid everything out to get to where I need it to be, and then I am going to just use my hot glue gun to lay everything and glue everything down. And I flip it over, and then I realized that the sticks aren't in the same order that it was in, and it didn't fit. For some odd reason, it didn't fit because I messed up when I went to paint them. Because when I had laid it out, when I set it up, it was perfect. So here you see me messing around with it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ro, what did you do? And then you're gonna see I messed up anyway, because it was, I have no idea what was going on in my brain. I think I was crafting for too long for that day, and I should have stopped a long time ago, but I didn't. And so this is the result of when you craft for way too many hours, kids. Don't do me, don't do like me. So you see, it's in the wrong position because as I was playing with it earlier, I flipped the top piece around, and then I go, what? You should have flipped it back. So now I decided to leave this in the video so that you can see, yeah, we mess up just as much. So now let's go ahead and fix this. So I fixed it, and then I printed out some little stars to put this in here. I was originally going to have my son draw the stars, but he was at work, and I knew he was going to come back home and be like, I don't want to be bothered with you right now, mama. So you do your own stars. So I was like, let me go ahead and make my stars and figure this out. So of course my youngest had to count the stars, and she was like, why? The stars don't even add up. Like, I was like, I'm not making 50 stars because I didn't have enough space for the 50 stars. And so here you see me using polyacrylic because this is going inside. So I just did one coat of this, but before I did this, I did take this outside, and this I did with both of my projects. This project and the previous project, I sealed it first with a clear spray of the clear, you know what kind of spray I'm talking about, and just to seal in the colors because I didn't want the colors to bleed on any one of my projects. And then I use my polyacrylic and my spar urethane on the previous project. So that is it. Be very careful when you're using a vinyl with spray, because vinyl and spray, I keep forgetting the name of that darn thing, but they are not compatible. So like I said, I just needed it to seal in these colors so that they don't bleed. All right, there's my little tip for this. Okay, let's move on. And see, by me using that spray, it keeps my colors from bleeding into each other. Isn't that pretty? Like, yeah. Spray paint, that's what I was thinking about. Spray paint, see, it just comes to me when I'm not thinking. All right, so I knew this was missing just a little bit something. So this pack I got from Hobby Lobby, and I was trying to decide, should I use Freedom, should I use America? And we're back to Freedom, America, I don't know, but America was not working for me, so I opted for Freedom. Let me know in the comments if you would have used America. The other option was 4th of July and something else, but Freedom just worked a little bit better for me. So let me know what you think about that. All right, so now for this last project, I happen to have gotten this tin vase, I don't know, from a Michael's grab bag several years ago. I think this is circa 2020. something like that. And I have had this ever since then. I never knew what to do with it because this is actually my very first time doing a patriotic video. So after May said let's do this theme, I was walking around upstairs trying to find something to do, and bam, this was like, pick me, pick me, pick me. So I was like, okay. So this is going to be the easiest one of all the crafts. So we're just gonna grab it and we are gonna just put some vinyl in it and put some flowers on it. I was just trying to decide where we're gonna put this vinyl on here. See what I mean? Circa 2020, I think it was. And it was $20 and it was in a grab bag for like $5 back when the grab bags were $5. So just put it on there and wipe it down with some alcohol. Grab some transfer tape, grab your vinyl, and just slap it on there. It just says established 1776. It cannot get any easier than that, guys. Just as easy. It literally took just a couple minutes to do. The hardest part, I think, was trying to figure out which 1776 and which color vinyl I was grabbing. That is it. That's all we're doing. And just, I couldn't find any flowers to put in here, so I just randomly grabbed a couple things that I had upstairs. So they're not patriotic. I did have one piece of flower that matched the theme, and then after that I just grabbed whatever I had in my stash because I wasn't buying anything else. But here is all the projects all out there together. So let me know what you guys think of all of this and how do you think I did. And remember to subscribe to my channel because I don't know what you're waiting for. Hug that subscribe button so that you can participate in the giveaway. And the question is, what is my least favorite tool in my craft room that I dislike using the most? And if you know what it is, go ahead and find the icon and put it into the comments below. That is it. That is all you have to do. And there will be a picture of what the giveaway will be. Do not forget that, guys, because as soon as I hit that 1,000 subscribers, we will be running it to find who will win for the giveaway. All right, guys, thank you so much. And don't forget to go to May's channel for her part of the collaboration. Bye, guys. As always, thank you and have a great rest of your day. Bye.